Am I pumped for WoW Legion? I am, dude. I am really excited and really sort of impressed with a lot of the stuff that they announced today. I think that what they're displaying today, you know, shows a lot of passion, a lot of creativity, and a lot of love for the game. Still out of them, which is amazing because I know that a lot of us are still very passionate and in love with the game. So knowing that the developers are still, you know, looking to make the absolute best game they can for the players is a really, really good thing. So I am excited. I think everything looks really good. Jenny and I, obviously, we're gonna be making plenty of videos going over our opinions as well. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna be talking about Legion here for a while now. But that was definitely like an intense experience for me. Like usually they announce that kind of stuff at BlizzCon, and we're there, you know, watching it. But today I was just like sitting in my computer chair, getting ready to go to the gym. I was just like, oh my god, everything is just like is so intense. It was a really intense experience. Is there a summary of WoW stream today? You can actually watch the whole thing. But yeah, Jenny and I will be making videos about, you know, our impressions, our thoughts about what we saw today, for sure. Definitely. I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot of Demon Hunters, for sure. I know a lot of people will be playing Demon Hunter. I think me being me, I'll still have to play my warrior as my main, but I will be giving Demon Hunter a try for sure. But I'm a warrior for life, man. But I think if we ever get like beta access, I'll probably end up leveling a Demon Hunter like initially, just to try to get an experience of what that class is like, because it definitely looks really, really cool. And I think a lot of people are gonna want to play that class. Where can I watch the video? You can go to twitch.tv/Blizzard. You can watch they're still playing it right now. Hey, Vigil, look! Head over to Flex, man. Welcome aboard, dude. Another new sub on the day, man. Appreciate that. Thank you very much for your support, man. And like I said, welcome aboard. Where are my Garrison boxes? Didn't I get some boxes? Confused. Hey, Thormods 1! Head over to Flex for 6 months in a row, dude. Holy moly. Appreciate that a lot. What DPS weapon I think Warriors gonna get for Artifact? I'm not sure. I don't know. We haven't been given that information yet, so we'll find out.
What if it's a mace? Are you alright with that?
Yeah, I'll be okay with that. People were mentioning Gorehowl, but Gorehowl is already in the game, so I don't think they'll be giving us a Gorehowl. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that would be it. It wouldn't really make sense. Why do I look so different? Well, I shaved my beard. That's one thing. That might be the main thing. Hey, just wanted to show some support. You always are so positive and everything. That's why you're my favorite streamer. You're always so positive about everything and even the new expansion. Anyways, keep flexing. Well, thanks, Dante House. Appreciate that those kind words. What do you think about melee hunters? Yeah, they said that hunters could equip that two-handed spear. I wonder if that was hinting at something, or just like, I wonder what that means, because like maybe there will be like some sort of melee spec for like a hunter who has their pet, but they use like a spear in addition to that. It'd be very, very interesting to see what that means, because they gave us some information, but they didn't give us, clearly they didn't give us all the information, right? They still left a lot of questions, but they're going to be doing a Q&A on Sunday, which might address some of the questions that came up. But either way, I think a lot of things they announced are really encouraging, and obviously they look really, really fun and exciting.
I mean, like, the most important part of your weapon is the stats.
You know, it could have been a joke, though. That's true. It could have been a joke. Well, hunters don't use a spear anymore for the stats. They used to, but they don't need more.
I know, but if they just, like, want to put stats back on the full arms for this next expansion, it's just...
Maybe.
Just some way to hold it.
Maybe so, maybe so. Like the Transmog, thanks, man. Yeah, I don't know. There's lots of information that was given out today, but it definitely leads to a lot of questions as well. Yeah, you know, no need to fish for the corrupted Ashbringer now. It's just be part of your thing. So I think that's really neat, though, because if you think about it from a PvP player's perspective, they mentioned not having gear be as big of an issue, like as big of a deal. What I'm wondering is if they're just gonna have like PvP be like a tournament gear, like everybody has the exact same gear no matter what. Which I don't really love that idea, but if it's better for the game, then whatever. But you're gonna have 3 different talent choices. You're gonna have your classes talents, you're gonna have your PvP talents that you get from the honor prestige system, the honor system, and then you have your artifact weapon talents as well. So you might not have as much variation in terms of the gear that you have, but you might see a lot of variation, or at least customization options in terms of your spec. So we'll see. There's lots of interesting things going on. We'll see. You're new to the channel and you seem pretty cool. Thanks, man. Thanks for swinging by. definitely encourage you to hang out with us a little bit more. You can always follow the stream if you want to do that as well. I'd appreciate that. Artifacts are pretty bad IMO. Everyone will have it, so it loses its value. Well, the coolness factor comes from the different, like, varieties of models that you can use for your Transmog weapon. So it'll look different than other players, and you can also have the option of different talent choices based on that weapon. So
Yeah, you have like a half a Titan bed.
right, so it's a fun way for you to customize your character a little bit. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. WoD seemed interesting as well, and look at it now. It's been my favorite expansion yet. I mean, people can really talk smack about WoD, but here's what ends up happening: is that everybody talks smack about every expansion ever, and then they're like, "Man, that was a great expansion. Can we just go back to WoD?" Like, I don't know, dude. Like, my attitude about World of Warcraft is, it's a great game, and I usually just enjoy what they offer, you know. And sometimes it's like, okay, that aspect of the game doesn't interest me the most out of everything that they have to offer, so, you know, I don't play it as much, and I think that's okay. I think that's all right. So if a certain aspect of the game doesn't interest you, you don't have to really engage in it. But I do think that WoD was cool, and I think that Legion's gonna be great. Are the other weapons shown too, or the ones that were just shown? No, there will be other weapons than the ones shown. Yeah, definitely. There's going to be a different weapon for every spec. So even I bet Fury will have some sort of dual-wield weapon, and whereas Arms will have one, like a big two-hander, and then Prot will probably have a sword and a shield, something like that. It seems like they want to fully equip you with the weapons that you're going to need.
Y'all ready for this?
Why did I quit PvEing? I didn't really quit doing it. I just haven't done it recently. Just because I've been doing mostly PvP. Hi from England. Keep up your streaming. Really fun to watch. Will you make another Queequeg video like the older ones? Yes, I will. Thank you for the donation. I'm glad you enjoyed the stream. And yeah, I'll be making more Queequeg videos for you guys too. Now, I posted one that's not like commentary, but it was just a fun battleground I did with Jenny. If you guys want to swing by that video, click that video, give it a thumbs up for me. I'd appreciate it a lot. And if you guys haven't subbed to my YouTube channel yet, be sure to subscribe. We're on pace for hitting 300K YouTube subscribers by BlizzCon, but I'm going to need your help to do that. So let's see what we can do. I think they're transitioning from a casual standpoint, having more things for hardcore players to spend time doing. I think that's a good thing. It seems like they have like casual options, but they're not like saying, okay, our game is mainly a casual game. I think that they're embracing a little bit more of the hardcore, which is good. I like that. I mean, I spend a good amount of my time playing World of Warcraft, so having more content for me to grind lord is not a problem for me. The fact that you grind lord for content that doesn't necessarily affect your character's power, I'm like, I'd rather be rewarded by power for the time I spend playing World of Warcraft. But I mean, if it's gonna be cosmetic, that gives you some swag factor. I mean, fair enough, you know. Fair enough. I am a big fan of like getting better gear and, you know, being really, really powerful as a result of the time I put into WoW. But you know, if the honor system is gonna mainly reward you in terms of cosmetic rewards, whatever. The only problem with that is that if you prestige and you're not given all your talents for arena, then you could be sort of discouraged from prestiging if you're interested in rated PvP content, which is why I think that they're just going to give you just tournament gear, essentially, like gear that's as good as PvP gear as you're going to get. You're never going to get better PvP gear. You're going to get access to all your talents, and that's going to be that for PvP. So I have mixed feelings about that, but that's kind of what I expect to happen. But we'll see. We shall see. What if this expansion will fix the faction disparity? Who knows? Everybody's gonna have a PvP trinket built into their talents, so we'll see if people really are only playing human to have the free PvP trinket, then we'll see if people decide to switch it up. Because I think everyone's gonna have a free PvP trinket now, just as part of their honor talent system. You think I'll be the first rank 1 Demon Hunter? I doubt that. I might try out Demon Hunter, but I'm going to play my warriors mainly, I think, for sure. I have a serious bank, don't I? That's all that Transmog gear, man. That's another thing. I hope that they make Transmog the way it is in Diablo, where if you've ever collected the item, you can Transmog it. That way you don't have to hold it in your bank. That'd be amazing. I would really appreciate that. Yeah, they have a racial ability that lets them see that lets them, or it's a class ability that lets them see people in stealth every 2 minutes. Yeah, that's pretty powerful. So like you just use that right off the bat in every arena match against the rogue. It's pretty crazy. Transmog will have its own bank. Interesting. Okay. Okay. There's a lot more research that I need to do. Only the information that I am privy to is the information that they spoke about today in the announcement. So I haven't like looked on forums or anything, looked on any like databases about more information out there. But I'd like to check it out eventually. Do I think the artifact weapons will be relevant in the PvP region, mainly arena? See, Dillypoo asked Halinka if artifact weapons will be, you know, usable in arena, and Halinka said yes. And so I imagine that like weapons are cool and all, but I wonder why anybody would ever use anything but your artifact weapon, since it gives you like talents. Like weapon damage is great, but like a talent or a row of talents, that's a lot more important a lot of times than just weapon damage. So I'm wondering if weapons are even going to be relevant if you're only going to use your artifact weapon, you know? It's kind of a tough call, I'm not really sure. Either way, you know, I'm excited, and I definitely want to roll with what they're going to present to us. I hope I get in the beta so I get to test things out and help them, like, you know, figure out what's going to work and what needs to be improved and stuff like that. I look forward to that experience. Plus, it'd be fun to share it with you. But we'll see. How do I feel about having to do PvP for PvP? I don't know if you have to do that, but if you do, I mean, whatever. If you're sort of encouraged to explore the full World of Warcraft game, that doesn't really bother me. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully they balance the artifact weapon with a long class quest chain. They will. That's like, I think that's like definitely the plan, Lula. I think so. Well, no, I think you're like given your weapon when you start leveling, like at level 100. I think you level with the artifact weapon along the way. I don't think you get it at like max level and then do the long quest chain. I think it's like you level, at least that was my impression, is that they made it sound like you're gonna level with the weapon, but we'll see. I do think that like it, yeah, but I do think that there'll be like a long quest chain to like max it out, you know what I mean? Because it like levels up, right? I could have a wrong impression of it, but it seems like that's what it was gonna be. Like you go on a quest to obtain it and then it levels with you. Maybe. We'll see. Either way, I think it's pretty cool. I don't think Gorehowl is going to be the relic weapon, because Gorehowl is already in the game as an epic weapon that you can get from Karazhan, so I don't think they would make it a relic, you know what I'm saying?
What would be, I'm trying to think of like, who is a good, like a really big line of warriors.
Like, yeah, like the Dwarven warriors always were dual wield, and oh, that's right, he had a mace. That's true. That's true. What happened to legendaries? I'm not sure. How's it going, Hammy? Yeah, I'm doing pretty good today, Hammy. I'm tired, but I'm like floored by everything that they announced today. It was a little overwhelming, honestly. Like, I'm really excited, but it was like I was taken aback by all the new stuff that they're putting in the game, and it all looks so good too. It looks great. The warrior sword is gonna be Shyamalan. Okay, is that a confirmed, or is that what you're guessing? Where can you send a file? You can send it to my business email, Aaron. How old am I? I'm 25. It was, yeah. It was intense. It was an intense experience, like having all that excitement just like wash over you. Jenny was freaking out. I was like stunned. It was an intense experience, but I am really excited, and I'm like proud to be part of the Warcraft community. I'm proud of the developers for continuing to make like really neat, interesting content, and like coming up with new ideas that fit with what they've done in the past, but sort of still are different than it. I'm really proud of them. I think that they're continuing to do great work. And I know that a lot of people are like fussing about how the WoW sub numbers have gone down, but it's like they're still just as passionate as ever, and they're still committed to kicking butt, you know. And I think that people will come back to the game. Like, honestly, like the sub numbers, I haven't really talked about it very much because I don't really care. Like, if people want to play the game, they will, and you know, I'm down with that. And I think that if people want to, you know, not pay for a subscription when they've done everything that they feel like they want to do in the game, and they're waiting for something else to come back or to come around, that doesn't surprise me. And I'm not like, oh, WoW's dying. I've said this a bazillion times. I think WoW breeds. I think it inhales. You know, that has times of really increased player base, and it exhales. There's times of not as many players. It's fine. It's an 11-year-old game. Like, it's fine. What's up, Jenny? Do you just want to get in a call with me so you can talk?
Oh, I don't know. You want me to?
I mean, yeah, I can't really hear what you're saying, and I think the stream might want to hear what you're saying too.
Where do we want to get in? Oh, let me log in. Hold on.
How is Illidan not dead? I think he was imprisoned. Did you want to do comms?
I'm on now, yeah.
Okay.
The thingy was.
Which one? What are you talking about? Comms?
No.
Oh. Alright. It's not... Okay. Hi.
Hey.
Can you
Are we echoing?
Can you guys hear Jenny, by the way?
I can. Are we echoing?
Oh, no, I think you're okay.
Okay. I was just saying with Doomhammer. Doomhammer wasn't originally a shaman weapon, right? Like for his father? Like.
I don't know. I thought it seemed more like a two-hander to me, but I guess he does carry with one hand.
Yeah.
No echo. I can hear fine. Good. Perfect. Do you want to be on cam? Do you have any, like... Okay. Jenny's just chilling. I just... Go ahead. Is Jenny my girlfriend or wife? Well, we're engaged to be married, so pretty close to wife.
Anyway, at the end of the day, I'm just super stoked. I didn't see priest weapons, and I really hope it's not a staff. I hope it's a wand. That's all I'm gonna say.
For priests? You want to use a wand over a staff?
Oh, that's so back to the Burning Crusade to have wands. Like wands were such a huge thing for priests.
I guess so. Hold on. There we go. You guys can still hear me, right? But this will make it a little bit harder to hear Jenny. Like I have my gain like down really, really, really low, so it might be pretty hard to hear me. But maybe there might be less of an echo. Now it doesn't really matter that much, but still. More music, please. Sure. Shua. Is the music loud too? When you get to Doomhammer and you see, yeah. Well, no, because the thing is about having relic weapons is that you can make it look different. Then the weapon is like a vehicle for one, customization in terms of the appearance of your character. Two, customization of the talents of your character, because your weapon is going to have talents as well that may look a lot like other players, but they might not. So that's something that you need to consider, is that the relic weapon is less about having, look at this epic weapon that's like really hard to obtain, and it's more about, this is a weapon that you're using to defeat the forces of evil, and you get to customize it to really fit your character. At least that's how it seems to me. But I think that's still really cool. I think Demon Hunters and PvP are going to be sick. And what do I think about the improved Diablo-style transmog system? If that's what they're doing, I am completely down with that. I've been begging for that for a while now. I don't think it has anything to do with me begging for it, but I am excited about it. That's for damn sure. Because I am a transmog fiend. I have way too much transmog. My bank is constantly full of transmog.
Did you see with like one of the first things they said is that they would get rid of like you having to store all your armor and stuff in your bags?
Why do they say that?
Let me pull it up. It's
Was I like tweeting?
Twitter.
Was I like tweeting at the time or something?
Maybe you were.
Oh damn, that's sick. That's what I want.
Hold up, let
That's
me
what I
pull it
want.
up. Oh wait, that's Sylvanas. Which I'm also so excited about.
What changed with
They
the transmog
said
system? Okay, go ahead.
specifically-
Go ahead.
It said allowing you to collect okay, hold on. We're improving the transmogrification system, allowing you to collect item appearances and save your favorite outfits without sacrificing precious bag space.
Awesome. Very, very
Yeah.
cool. We need that. That's amazing. So if you hear that, Schmoop, they're basically making it like, if you've ever well, I don't know if they're going to say if you've ever collected it, but you may be able to store your transmog without using like bag space. So that suggests a couple different options. Like one, you have like a purely transmog like bank or something, or any gear you've ever collected you have access to, or you can like save sets and just like switch between transmog sets, which would be amazing. I'd love to do that because I have a lot of sets that I like, and it'd be a lot more easy to save like a transmog set than like try to go through and change your whole transmog gear set to whatever one you like whenever you feel like it. So you could have like different sets of transmog. So this is the kind of thing that I'm talking about with WoW, is like they're both trying to find out ways to keep the really hardcore grind lord player base happy by offering things like the new honor system, but also they're trying to have things like just player aesthetics that you think is fun with the transmog system. It says, hey Bash, I'm super stoked for Demon Hunters. When are we going to see some Demon Hunter BG montages?
Oh, it's going to be so good. Oh, I can only imagine like the voice you would give a Demon Hunter.
Yeah, I don't know.
I fell out of my chair when they announced the Demon Hunters. I was so excited. I was just like, finally!
It says Baj Exaroth, rank 1 Demon Hunter confirmed. Yeah, I think I'll definitely be playing Warrior mainly, like, but I think that I might have to check out Demon Hunter, especially in beta, if I get in. That'd be amazing. Thank you for the donation, though, man. Is that what it is for sure, or is the variant Rin's weapon confirmed, or just nah, just maybe?
That would be a good idea, though. That would be pretty neat.
I think that'd be sick. What color do you think the Demon Hunter's unit frame will be? Probably like I don't know.
I think like from what I saw,
like
is it was a
Illidan
bright green,
purple.
but that could have been like a Photoshop.
I'm thinking like, yeah, it might be that. It might be that fluorescent green or like a
Like the fell green.
like fell green or fell purple. But then that's kind of like Warlock, you know?
Yeah, but Warlock's kind of like a dimmer purple.
I could see fell green, but they're just kind of getting close to what monks are, you know? If they do that.
Monks are more like a jade green, though.
I know.
You know,
Yeah.
sticking to the monk theme.
Yeah, but it's like both new classes they come up with are energy-based, leather-wearing, melee.
Cloth or leather, though. That's what I saw.
Why do they wear cloth?
Cloth or leather? I mean, I would assume for.
Well, anyway, like light armor, melee, energy using green health bar guys. It's like interesting, but still, it's gonna be sick. A really dark purple, a black unit frame, that'd be cool. Bright purple, it's dark green. Okay, we're getting a lot of options. They're rage base, not energy. Okay, interesting. I wonder if they're gonna have both.
I think they are energy based. That's what I read on their website.
Yeah, I'm wondering if. Yeah, I'm wondering if like their energy like generates like they use energy to generate rage, and then they use rage for like other abilities, kind of like how like a DK for example uses like their runes to generate runic power, and they have other abilities that use runic power. I'm not sure.
Oh, they said they changed it to fury based.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay.
Because I remember today they talked about fury, but then they say energy like on the website.
Yeah.
Cool. That's cool, man. That's cool. They're health based for a tank, energy for DPS. So they use their health to cast to use abilities? That's kind of crazy.
What?
For a tank, that'd be interesting. So now the remove CC trinket will be a talent. So they're getting rid of every man for himself. That would be something that I would suggest would happen, yeah. Because it seems like everybody's gonna have a trinket just for this, a talent. Oh man, the green screens. I guess we're starting the stream so late the green screen's already messing up. We need to like put we need to put that sheet back up there.
I know. It looks so bad though.
I don't care. I don't care.
It looks okay.
Alright. Do I think a Demon Hunter will use mail? My guess would be leather. Jenny said cloth though.
It said cloth or leather on there.
Yeah.
Y'all ready for this?
I know, I'm going by like what I read right after their announcement.
I bet DPS
so
will use cloth.
Changed.
I have a couple thoughts, Bash. Number one is I agree with you 100% on the subs. Here's the thing for all those 5 million subs. There are 5 million players working hard to pay for game time with gold. Okay. Second, let me wait till the thing updates. Second is, personally, I wasn't around for BC, so I'm excited. Yeah, I mean, neither was I, man, so I'm pumped. But I've also been enjoying WoW this whole time. I'm also fortunate enough to be able to sort of have WoW be a big part of my, like, my job. But, you know, I was playing and loving WoW even before I got to do this for a living, you know what I'm saying? DPS's claw tank is low. Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah. That's what I figured. From what I saw, they're like warriors when it comes to some abilities, generate fell energy and some use it. Interesting. Yeah. That makes perfect sense to me. I just saw on the website they said energy, but yeah, fury makes sense. FX says, love the videos, can't wait to see the expansion, keep hitting with the flex. Hey dude, thank you, man. I'm gonna hit you with the flex right now, dude. Thank you very much for that $10 donation, dude. Appreciate that. Hope you guys don't mind just like sort of sitting and chatting. There was a lot of information to take in and digest today, and it was a little overwhelming for me, so being able to like sort of sort through it with you guys is pretty sick. May you post a link? Sure, go ahead, man. I mean, I have to permit you. But if I permit you and you post something that's bad, I'm gonna be very upset with you. You can't wait for the expansion. Yeah, I feel like it's probably still a little while off, but maybe eventually they'll start releasing beta and stuff. That'd be amazing to check that out. Betas are always really fun because not only do you get to experience like some of the content as they want to release it to you, but you get to like help them sort of figure out the game. So you are directly involved in the creation process of like your favorite game. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, Oplex, I totally agree. I'm actually really happy we're going back to Dalaran.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
I mean, it would be cool to have like a new city and stuff, but like at least it's cross-faction, it's a sanctuary, it's pretty nice. You can run into a lot of people. That's pretty good.
Yeah, what I think of the honor system 3.0, I have mixed feelings. I've always really enjoyed putting in a lot of work into PvP, getting good gear, and smashing other players who didn't do the same thing that I did. You know, people don't have as good gear, whether they're new to PvP or they just haven't, you know, they've maybe done PvE, or they just finished leveling, or they just haven't had the amount of time or effort put into the gameplay. They get crushed because they don't have as good gear. I think that was fun. I think that, you know, being a player who puts in a lot of time and effort to do PvP, get high rated, get really good gear, you should be rewarded within the game in terms of your character strength for that. Now that there's the consequence of that is maybe some people feel like PvP is intimidating, or that they can't possibly, you know, do PvP because they'll never have the time to grind gear or whatever. And I don't really I'm not really down with that idea, but I mean, if it's a way people feel and it really does keep them away from PvP, and this is a change that'll be good for PvP, then I think it's a good thing. Let me hit Shia LaBeouf, 98 with the flex real quick. With the flex, I appreciate that, dude. Welcome aboard. But if they're gonna make gear irrelevant, I guess as long as it brings new players into PvP, that's fine. Hey, thanks for the gold. Appreciate that.
Yeah, Infest, that sounds about right. It should be leather.
You will still have a massive advantage with the talents. Well, I think only in unranked PvP. Vicious skills. So I think all the abilities in the talent system are replacers, passives. First talent replaces your ratio trinket, then skills like necrotic strike being replacers. Let me read the rest of that. But no, here's the thing. Like, so in unrated PvP, like battlegrounds, that's the honor system. Thank you for the gold again. That's the honor system. So what happens when you say, okay, so I'm maxed out, I want to prestige and go back to the start again, but then I also want to do rated content? Like, are you not going to have any of the talents that you needed to do rated content? Because I feel like rated content, rated arenas and battlegrounds will involve you having just baseline. Everyone who queues is going to have the best gear, access to all the talents that you're going to need, and you're probably going to even have your artifact weapon maxed out too, if you get to use your artifact weapon in PvP. So rated PvP is basically just going to be the most intense, rigorous form of PvP. Is you're going to have everything given to you, which is kind of lame in my opinion, because I like working for stuff and getting an advantage by the amount of hard work I put in. But at the same time, it levels the playing field, so it's all about skill or comp or whatever else, you know, factors into PvP beyond gear. But then, yeah, in the honor system, you'll be able to prestige, and then you'll be able to hold. You know, if you have a really high honor level, then you're gonna have more talents than other people, which is great. But then you're gonna be ditching those talents to get, you know, different cosmetic gear. Why are you guys giving me gold? Thank you though. I'll take it, but we'll see. We'll see. Wouldn't putting all the time into talent thing be the same as putting time into gear? Not. It depends on how powerful the talents are, because it could not be the same. You know, it could not be the same. I'm sure it'll make your player more powerful, but like, I don't know if it's gonna make you one-shot somebody without talents. You know what I'm saying? Jesus, what is this gold gun? Okay, people. I don't pop because I get smashed all the time. I'm not able to spend lots of time gaming anymore. If the playing ground was evened out more, that would be great. I do think high-end PvPers should be rewarded by something other than cosmetics. Okay, fair enough. What is going on? Why are you guys giving me gold? Just sitting here talking about nothing.
We're excited.
Thank you, though. Slimming down like very thin. Yeah, working on it, man. Getting ready for my next physique competition. That's the plan, dude.
Think, like with these changes, like, do you think that is like the PvP side of it, where it levels the gear stuff? Do you think it is like better in the long run for everybody, or do you think it's just more like, you know, like esports based?
It's tough to tell, because I mean, from an esports perspective, like having everything be as balanced as it can be. Okay. Thank you. Having everything be as balanced as it can be, I guess, evens the playing field a bit. But at the same time, it's like people who are like, no, I don't want to make a disparaging comment against the guy who just said that he doesn't have time to play. But it's like, if you don't have time to practice basketball, you can't be mad about somebody being better at basketball than you because they have more time to practice, or they decide to make time to practice and get better at the sport. And you know, it's like there's very real things about that it's like, okay, so if you don't put in the time and effort, maybe you shouldn't have the same, you know, rewards. But I mean, if it encourages people to play, that's one thing. But if it encourages people to just be like, I already have everything I want, why would I play now? Is like,
I think it helps me, like people like me, where it's like, well, I would do 2s with you, but my gear isn't very good, so you'd have to drop your rating a lot. We'd have to like lose a bunch of games, and then I'm gonna be like mad because I'm losing all these games.
But what happens when you have all the gear and then you still lose games because, you know, you don't have the experience?
But you can't blame.
I'm gonna give these to Jenny, by the way. These dinosaur bones.
What?
This guy gave me like 1,000 dinosaur
Can you
bones.
trade dinosaur bones now?
Why are you guys giving me stuff?
Oh.
But yeah, so then what happens when you go into arena and you're like, okay, I just got destroyed. What do you like? What's holding you back now? Is it your class? Is it the comp that you're facing?
Yeah,
like,
but at least it's
people are still gonna find something to dislike
versus,
about
like,
it.
Y'all ready
Yeah.
for this?
Thank you for the gold, by the way.
Every
Jesus.
fucking game.
Can I get a
Yeah.
twin, duo, lovey-dovey couple flex, please? Thanks. Also for the donation. Start having another donation train, Cataract. You wanna hit him with the flex, Jenny?
I'm flexing, I
Alright,
swear.
3, 2,
What?
1.
No, camera, no.
Hit him with the
I'm
flex,
a
us. All right, Jenny ditched me on that one. That's okay.
I totally flex.
All right, good.
I thought you were gonna turn on the camera, and I was like, please no.
Please, no, I'm not going to. All right, I'm just gonna keep accepting trades, I guess. But I don't think I deserve this. But okay, thank you. There's a little bit of an echo. Yeah, there will be a little bit of. If I speak up, you can hear me in Jenny's microphone.
Well, if we're both talking at the same time too, I think that's what
Yeah.
does it.
That's skill based though, not like getting your ass kicked by not having basketball gear. No, but no, I mean like if there's somebody who doesn't do anything and just sits around and doesn't like, there is definitely skill involved, but there's also the fact of you're somebody who practices basketball and trains to be an athlete is going to have better endurance, they're going to have better strength, they're going to have better, you know, motor skills, they're going to have lots of things that are based on themselves beyond just skill. They're going to actually be physically better, which is, I think, is what gear is like. It actually makes you like a stronger character, regardless of your skill. So maybe the same that can be said for like somebody who's like pretty good at basketball, but they're going up against like somebody who trains really well at the gym. You know, they're like, you know, 6'3". They're a really athletic person who's never played basketball. That might still give them a little bit of trouble. You know, even if you're pretty good at basketball, but you're not very athletic, right? You have the skill, but maybe not like the physical capabilities, right? Thank you for the flasks. I think there should be something that about your character becoming stronger, like an MMO or like a game like this has so long been based on gear, and I think that's a fine thing.
I
That
think
doesn't
that's where
bother me.
they do the weapon
gonna
thing though,
pass
because
on that one.
there were the like the little talents or the ability type of things that you unlock as you progress with your artifact weapon, and so maybe that's kind of where you could do or feel that same sense where it doesn't have to be gear related. It's just more of like the weapon pack.
But the thing about that is, I think in rated PvP, the way that they're setting it up, everybody's gonna have to be the exact same level. Like, so your weapon, everybody's gonna have like a max level weapon too.
Yeah, but like you also have those extras to the weapon. Did you see that? How like there were like those little like abilities that you could unlock on your weapon as you continued.
But
Do you think that would affect it?
I think everybody would have access to the same amount of weapon talent points though, if they did rated
Oh,
PvP.
really?
I think that you'd have a maxed out weapon spec, a maxed out class spec, and a maxed out honor PvP spec when you do rated content. So I think rated content everybody would be on the same exact level in terms of their setup, and then the only thing that really matters at that point is their player skill and their comp, which is probably a good thing for esports. From that perspective, it's just sort of what I prefer doesn't necessarily matter that much for what's good for the game. I want what's good for the game more than what I just want for me personally. Just because I like outgearing and one-shotting people in random battlegrounds doesn't mean that's what's best for the game, you know?
Yeah.
Just because I like to, you know, put in a lot of work to get high rated in arena earlier on in the season to get my gear earlier on, doesn't mean that like that's how it should be. Because eventually, later in the season, when it really matters for pushing for rating and stuff, pushing for titles, everyone has the same gear anyway, just about. So I mean, I get it, but that's always been like right from the beginning of my gameplay experience. Even before WoW, I always liked the games where the amount of time you put into your character, the more experience you got, the more powerful you got with respect to your environment, you know, the easier sort of you could just like walk in and smash things, or you unlocked content that you could then progress onto because you become powerful enough. Jesus, Beatrice, thank you. But if the majority opinion is, if the actuality is, if it's balanced from the start, more people will play PvP, then that's good. I'm down with that. Hey, Neurology. Flex, I appreciate that, dude. Thank you very much.
So what do you think with World PvP then? Because personally, I feel like you could still one-shot. I mean, but it's just going to have to be World PvP.
I think World PvP is going to behave like Honor PvP.
Do you think, like, so it'll just automatically change? As soon as you enter in combat, you're basically in that PvP?
No, they never really addressed how the Honor gear was going to work for unrated content. So I don't know if you're going to have, like, for rated content, I'm nearly certain, just given how things look, I'm nearly certain that they're going to have, like, tournament gear style gear for serious PvP, rated PvP. For unrated PvP, I could imagine you just kind of get the gear that you've got. But the question is, and that's a big question, is so how do you acquire that gear? Is there any gear that you can acquire by doing PvP that's, like, you know, not rated PvP? And then another question is, you know, so does that mean that you have to raid to get decent Honor PvP gear if you can never use the rated PvP gear in non-rated PvP? So we'll see. I'm kind of curious about that one.
I still feel like, though, like, out in the world, like, if you come across a horde, I feel like if you just, like, start to attack them, do you think it would automatically change the situation, though? Or do you think that that's where, like, gear and that kind of stuff and the one-shotting thing would happen?
Hey, Vicious Skittle, like, I've been responding to your comment this entire time. that's what we're talking about, the PvP talent things. But I can address it again in particular. So you said, I think all of the abilities in the talent system are replacers/passives. First talent replaces your racial with a trinket, then skills like Necrotic Strike being replacers, making your hotbars clean but still balanceable. So I get that completely. My issue is that with rated PvP, you're going to have all those options available, right? So I sort of, like, your thing is just a comment about what you're thinking, and I think that you have the correct understanding of how that works, right? We're sort of moving past that a little bit, though. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about, for rated PvP, I think everybody's gonna have the exact same setup. Like, they're gonna have all the exact same sort of amount of options. Like, everybody's gonna have a maxed out artifact weapon talent tree. They're gonna have a maxed out player talent tree in terms of your class. They're gonna have a maxed out honor talent tree. For unrated content, that's when we'll have to grind your talents back up again, which is could be cool. Could be cool. I would almost rather, like, you know, start from lower gear again, though, rather than lower talents, because that's going to change the way that you play your character again. But I don't know. I think the prestige idea for reward is a cool thing to do. I just don't. I mean, you have to figure out the right way to do it. But I think they're onto something, and I think that it's going to be a lot of fun if I get in the beta to test out the PvP system and, like, you know, see what seems good. Because they're coming up with ideas that are, like, really cool. It's just a matter of, like, putting them into practice and seeing how they actually behave in the game, you know?
I think, too, like, it was just announced. It's not like there's been a full breakdown as to how it works exactly, so it'll be good on Sunday to hear about that, but...
Yeah, definitely.
It's nice to speculate.
To speculate? Oh, God. Hex sweeps for Bajheera. Craigasm. Your Proho coming in clutch, man. Thank you, dude. My business email is the same email on my PayPal. But... people have been writing me like, what are your add-ons? Like, that is not a business email, guys. Please no. Please no. You think that warriors will have the Hammer of Ragnaros? I don't think that relic weapons will be weapons that are obtainable in the game normally. I don't think so. If more weapons use this setup, will a spec change be as simple as a weapon swap? I doubt it. I think only your relic weapon is going to give you options for, like, talents, so I'm wondering if every other weapon in the game is going to be obsolete. Like, if the only weapon you're going to use the entire expansion is your relic weapon, I'm not sure how that's going to work. Like, I don't mean to be being negative right now, because I am really excited. I'm just sort of the cool stuff is cool, like that's already there. But then you start to sort of think about like the implications of what that means, and I'm like, so what does that mean? So is the relic weapon the only weapon you're going to use for the rest of the expansion, you know? Not really sure. I mean, what I think the Demon Hunter's relic weapon would be, like, obviously you're like thinking Warglaives right off the bat, but those are obtainable in the game anyway, so I'm not sure you're going to do that again.
Yeah, I don't know. They might have like a revamped version of them.
Here you go, Scumbag Spooky. You can link it if you want to. But like I said, if you link something that's not that, you're going to be like banned forever. Wouldn't you rather...
What about the order halls, though?
It says, wouldn't you... One second. Wouldn't you rather beat someone because you know your class and have a better understanding of the rotation than because you've got better weapon? Sure. Like in a rated situation, sure. But here's the thing. If I have a better understanding of my class and rotation or whatever, or because I play a class that beats another class, like, I'm going to beat them anyway, but it's a lot funnier to one-shot them than, like, have to take a long time beating, like, somebody who's, like, you know, backpedaling and keyboard turning, but we have, like, the same amount of gear, so it just takes a lot longer to kill them. Like, if somebody's, like, a backpedaling keyboard turning noob with no gear, like, I'd rather just one-shot them, right? It just makes it, it's just funnier. But you're right. You know, if you're doing serious rated PvP content, then that, you know, from an esports perspective, you probably should, you know, have like a relatively even playing field. But I just don't know, like, the playing field evens out eventually anyway for the way things are right now. So I'm very curious. They haven't really talked about how that's going to work. That's just how I imagine things working. So I mean, that I could be completely wrong. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see. Yeah, I agree. It should be fair. Absolutely. Badge confirmed bully. I am a little bit of a bully in Battlegrounds for sure. Yeah. I do like doing BGs where there are people who, you know, they just started off their PvP journey, whereas, you know, there's some people who have been doing PvP for a longer time, and it is definitely fun to just walk in there and one shot them. I unabashedly enjoy that for sure. You like the system of skill over gear? Sure, man. The thing is though, like, you know, if you're like gear is almost like everybody's gonna have the same gear eventually anyway. Like, if you're a serious PvP player, you're gonna put in the time and effort to get the gear. And the thing is, if you're not gonna put in the time and effort to get the gear, you're probably not gonna have the time and effort to put in the work to get the skill either. So you're just sort of cutting out one aspect of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Either way, you still have to put in time and effort to the game to get you know, good at it. Like, I'm not like just naturally good at the game. I don't even think I'm that good at it anyway. But what I am willing to do is put in a lot of time and effort to try to improve. And, you know, that's fine. I just think that it's also fun to get improvements as a player, like me. Like, I as a human being get better at playing World of Warcraft, but I also like the work that I put in to reflect on my character in the game. I like my character to become more powerful by getting better gear. So that if they're doing away with that model, I will just have to adapt, and that's fine.
You can go for the cosmetic gear.
That's just one of those things. You do not have to donate to get it, Aaron Nash. You just have to look at what it is. You can also check my Twitter or my YouTube channel. Gotta be a little more go-getter about this situation. There you go. You're glad, don't be modest. You're better than a lot of people. Well, I mean, who knows, man? Who knows? Maybe if everybody had the same gear as me, they'd be gladiator too. Who knows? I know both gear and skill have the rightful place in both PvE and PvP. That's fine. That's fine. But if they want to change it up a little bit, that's fine. And if you really want to go for that, like, you know, your character becomes stronger through putting in more time and effort, then maybe you do PvE, right? Because PvE, I don't imagine will give you the mythic rating tier if you want to take... You check a box that says, I want to take mythic rating seriously. And then you have all the best mythic gear, and then you just race for times or something. Like, I don't think that's what they're going to do. You know? But they could. That seems like the approach they're taking with PvP a little bit. It's like, if you want to do rated PvP, here's everything you need, and then all you do is compete for rating.
That's interesting. It is like an interesting way to look at it when you break it down like that.
Yeah, so I like the gear progression. I think the gear progression is a big part of MMOs. But I applaud Blizzard for like taking a different attitude towards it, like changing it up. Like, I am all for WoW being an evolving game, and not every change has to be catered to me as an individual. I think that it should be catered to what's best for the game. Now, my concern is, here's the main concern, is that when people stop having things to work for, they become disinterested. I think that's a big problem with what happens with WoW sometimes, is that people are like, oh yeah, new expansion hype, and they're like, okay, I finished leveling. I don't really want to take PvP that seriously. I don't really want to raid very seriously. I don't like garrisons unsubbed. Like, sometimes it takes a little bit of commitment from the player to actually commit and go after something. And if players are like, okay, so my rated PvP experience is broken down to having everything given to me, I queue up PvP, and I get killed because I'm new to PvP and I haven't put in the time and effort to get better, it's like, then they might just stop doing PvP and then they have literally nothing to do in terms of improvement. I think working towards something is what's actually the most fun about everything. You know, struggling against content is like the most fun. And people might disagree with that, but
I guess the other side of it is...
It's kind of how it is.
Yeah, like, you have to do a whole extra step. Instead of just, like, working on your skill, you have to also rely on building your gear up. And so, yeah, you might be learning to become a better player as you're obtaining more gear, but now you can actually just focus on learning to be a better player and not have to worry about getting the gear and still dying a bunch when you're playing well, but you're still dying because you don't have the best gear yet.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, if you're willing to continue to queue battlegrounds or arenas, you know, eventually your gear gets better. And during those times where you're not quite as geared, you know, you're learning your class, you're learning to get better, you're having to play differently because you don't have as much gear.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think that, like, later on, as you get more gear, it's like a combination of you improving as a player and you improving with your gear, which allows you to sort of reach the highest ranks. But I'm fine with what's going on. It's just I do have, like, that's why when I said I have mixed feelings, that's what I mean. Let me read this donation from Bjorny. He says, "Hey man, I got an idea of what the warrior weapon might be. If you read the info on the villains on the Legion site, he said he stole the artifact called the Hammer of Kaz-Garoth. Go check it out. Oh, nice. Yeah, people. I mean, people are trying to link stuff about the weapons. If you just want to send me a Twitch message, just do that, or tweet the link at me. You know, on Twitter. That's fine too. That'd be a cool thing to do. Thank you for the donation, man. Appreciate that. But yeah, I know we're talking a lot about PvP because that is like my main focus, and those are the kind of thoughts that that are going through my head initially.
Totally. We thought about doing a video about it, and I think that this is kind of a really good way to, like, not only talk to you guys, but we can kind of organize our thoughts and that kind of stuff as well.
You'll still kill the people who haven't grinded this PvP skills and prestige. Oh, I mean, maybe so. Maybe so. The thing for me is, like, if you're gonna kill somebody, I want to kill them fast. What I don't like my least favorite time in BGs is where everyone has, like, the same gear, or when, like, player damage has been reduced a lot. So just take, even if you're, like, able to kill somebody pretty easily, it just takes a long time. That's, like, really, like, not as much fun. But if PvP is still fast paced and at the absolute top of the ladder, like, you have to have really fast reactions and make the right decisions in an instant, and PvP is quick and engaging and fun, even if everybody has the same gear, that's cool. But if it takes a really long time to kill somebody, even if they're, like, a noob, no offense, like, that's kind of just, it's just, like, kind of annoying. It's like, okay, I should be killing this guy instantly, but it's gonna take me, you know, 30 seconds to whittle him down just because we both have the same exact gear and whatever. But okay, so hey, Talonus1, hit him with the flex subs. Thanks for subscribing, man. Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear the echo pretty good, but that's okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. It's just
like
like
when you're loud.
It's like it's like when you don't talk for a while, like it automatically adjusts your mic. I think that's what it is.
Okay.
You might need to go in your settings and disable that.
Okay.
Or not, whatever. It's not a big deal.
Well, I'll just mess around while you're talking.
Verity NS. Hit him with the flex subs. Welcome aboard, dude. Appreciate that, man.
I'm sorry. Let's see.
I want to have you on here so people can hear you, though. I guess we could just do the one mic setup, but...
There we go. Oh, my adjust microphone settings is off, so...
Oh, okay.
Automatically.
Push to talk. No, I'm good. I'm good. That's cool, Ultra Ninja Smurf. That's really cool. Like, that's what you think it's gonna be. That's cool. We'll see. We'll see. Like, I'm not like a big speculator. I'm more of like a wait and see kind of guy. Unless it's like something like this PvP thing. Like, what weapon warriors will use. Like, I'm just sort of waiting to see what it is. Like, I'll be excited when it's here. Fell Blight. I know you can sell this for a lot of money, Night Raven. Why are you giving that to me? I can mix it better. Okay, I'll take that. It's like a little reverb on it. I'll take it. No more rankings. No, there will definitely still be rankings. Don't you think? They wouldn't do away with rankings. They just won't be gear. What's up?
No, that's fine.
I can't really hear you when you don't talk now.
Oh.
Like when you don't talk loud enough.
This is what you get when you tell
I know. I know. I should just like take my headset off and like just talk to you. It's weird.
You're weird.
That's funny. This green
Okay.
screen.
Is that better?
Sure.
Okay.
If
You
they
might
do
still
it,
hear you.
they won't do it with rankings. I was just talking about how I enjoy the process of not only improving as a player, but improving as a character in the game with gear. And if they're doing away with that, like, what is my camera doing? If they're doing away with that, then that could be kind of like, not exactly what I prefer, but whatever. My preference isn't the thing that should determine what happens with the video game. It's more like, I hope it ends up going okay, and I'll play it regardless. You know what I'm saying? You just won't get any of the stuff anymore. Maybe just a title. I mean, that's kind of how it is right now. Like Gladiator doesn't make you a more powerful player in the game. It's a title and a mount. Like it's cosmetic anyway.
If Warrior Prot has like a shield and a weapon, I don't see why a priest can't have a wand offhand. I am so for the wand. I know you guys are gonna say it's a staff, but I don't want. I want a wand.
I'm with you, Vertical Tacos. Like back in the day, I loved BGs. I still love BGs, and the reason why I stepped into the arena in the first place is because that's how you got better gear. You could get as good gear as you could from BGs, and then you had to do arena in order to improve your gear even further. So that doing arena for me was a result of me wanting to get better gear to do battlegrounds, to kill people better in battlegrounds. So I'm with you on the fact that gearing your character has always been one of the most fun things for me. But if they want to level the playing field for rated PvP, then fair enough. Fair enough, man. I'll play it anyways. I'm in love with World of Warcraft. I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. I love WoW, and like if they want to change something up, even if it's not something that I prefer, you know, whatever. I'm gonna play it anyway.
The double jump is so cool,
That
and
is
the
pretty
wing
cool.
gliders. Oh my gosh, I am in love with that class already, and I haven't even played it yet.
It is pretty sick.
It's going to be really cool. I have a feeling we're going to see a ton of these.
Yeah.
We'll see a ton in arena, a ton in raids, dungeons. I mean, it's going to be the flavor for a while, but I have a feeling it's also going to be.
Jenny's gearing up for a full-on reroll. I can hear it in her voice right now.
I don't know. See, I've never really been huge on melee classes though, so it's like a little scary.
Yeah, but you enjoy the Death Knight.
Yeah. Oh yeah, my Death Knight's pretty cool.
That'll be cool, I think. Check Twitter, Mang. Okay, well. Oh, it's an immiger. You're scaring me with them immigers, dude. But okay. I look a lot different. Yeah, I did shave my beard. That might be one of the main things. I was gonna sub, but then I saw a shaved beard. Oh yeah? What are you gonna do now? You gonna not sub because I shaved? Fair enough. You gotta do what you gotta do, man. You gotta stick by your beliefs. Think they need to bring back 2200 gear? I think that's like the opposite of what they're trying to do here.
I think Spectral Sight will make them OP. Yes, kind of. I think.
Not sure why the CC trinket is a talent. Everyone's gonna get that apart from humans. Well, no, I think that humans will probably get some sort of different class racial or race racial. Racial? I'm pretty. I think a built-in PvP trinket is something that like people have been like fussing about for a long time. Like, oh, humans are so OP. And now everybody only plays human. Everybody only plays alliance because that stupid trinket. So now everybody's gonna have a PvP trinket built in, which makes sense to me. I think it's a good idea regardless of people fussing or not. Well, they're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna make the human racial useless. I think they're just gonna change what it is. It says, but if they're removing the gear, what the F are we gonna use? The quest gear? How boring will that be? I'm really confused, dude. I'm not sure. That's one of the questions that I would have is. So, now keep in mind that when I say I imagine them having the same gear for rated PvP content, that's just my imagination. But I'm gonna come back to that in a second. I won't be able to play WoW, so I'm going to New Zealand and explore the country for a year. Fortunately, you will keep me updated with this amazing game. Oh, I definitely will, dude. So the reason why I'm thinking that the rated PvP gear will have to have the best gear, all the talents with weapon and all the talents with your
Y'all ready
character,
for this?
and all the
Every
talents with the
fucking
PvP.
game.
The reason I'm thinking that is because if you prestige, you're going to be useless in rated PvP for a while, and I don't think rated PvP players are going to want to do that. But they also will want the prestige stuff, so you kind of have to choose unrated or rated content. I don't think that's a good idea. So I imagine what I stated before is going to be the way it is. Man says, I feel the best thing we can do now is support Blizzard in their decisions and trust them as the people who made the game we fell in love with in the first place. Hopefully, on Sunday and BlizzCon, our questions will be answered and people stop whining. So, I'm with you. Like, just definitely, like, unconditional love and support for Blizzard because they make a great game that we all love. But I also do encourage people to voice concerns in a constructive manner. So,
oh no, I think that's it. On Sunday. I mean, this is
Yeah.
perfect. If you guys like want to ask a question, I think that at least they'll be able to address that a little bit more than what they could at Gamescom.
they didn't say they're getting rid of gear. They just mean won't be as big of an influence. Yeah. But like I just explained, the reason why I imagine rated PvP being like they'll give it you everything right off the bat is because if you decided to prestige, you're basically not going to be able to do rated PvP for a while because you're going to be really harshly disadvantaging yourself. So if you're a high rated PvP player and you have your full prestige thing, you go queue these arenas and you get to like 2800 rating, and then you want a prestige, you're not going to want to queue at 2800 rating with none of the talents to help you get there, right? That's like say, like for example, talking about gear, you're not going to want to, you know, grind all season to get the best epic PvP gear, get to 2800 and say, okay, I want the elite gear now. I'm going to take off all my gear and start from the beginning at 2800 rating. Like, that's going to be a really, really bad decision. And I don't think that Blizzard is going to set it up that way for the players. So I think rated PvP will have, as soon as you enter into a rated PvP environment, you're going to have all the gear, all the talents, and just be good to go. That's what I imagine. But maybe not. Maybe they'll still have the same sort of honor gear and arena gear as well. It just sort of it just didn't sort of give me that vibe when I heard it. But maybe so. Maybe so. We'll see. Your chat is actually what Twitch chat should have always been. Basically, every comment is a meaningful opinion. I definitely have an extremely unique and awesome community that I'm very, very grateful to be part of. But yeah, this is if this is like some of your first time here, like this is a very special community. That's for damn sure. And I'm sorry that I can't read every comment. I guess we're just sort of talking things through. Yo, Ryan Edwards. Hit him with the flex for 4 months in a row, man. Appreciate that, dude. Thank you very much. I think the artifact will be your legendary. Interesting. Okay. Potentially.
Yeah, if it's supposed to be the strongest weapon.
Yeah. Which makes me wonder if we're ever going to use any other weapon than the artifact weapon.
Well, I'm wondering, like, during the time of, like, building your weapon and making it the strongest it can, there could possibly be stronger weapons
Yeah.
to obtain
The thing
in
is,
the moment.
Yeah, the thing is, like, if you're using a weapon that has a higher weapon damage, but you're losing out on, like, making your abilities more effective, or, like, you know, for example, what we saw on today's video is, like, a certain level of the Ashbringer made your ability go off twice, 2 seconds later. So it's like, I could be doing, like, 12% more damage with this weapon that has more weapon damage, or I could be doing an entire other ability, which is like double damage of that particular spell, which might even out to more than 12%, or it might not. But either way, I think that putting all the talents together is going to outweigh just pure weapon damage. So I don't know if you'd ever want to use anything but your artifact weapon. But I guess if you're not getting your artifact weapon like right off the bat, like I was mentioning earlier, like if you have to reach level cap and then start doing your artifact weapon, then maybe it'll be bad enough that you won't want to use it for a while. But still, I think eventually everyone's going to just be using the artifact weapon for sure. I feel like the artifact won't be one build. Everyone will want to play differently. So that's definitely like an attitude that you can have. And I agree that like as a PvP player, like there are certain situations where you do want to change your spec depending on what you're fighting. But I think that definitely opens up opportunities for customization, and I hope that you're presented with like situations that sort of almost require different specs. But you know, the sort of pessimistic attitude is like, oh, everyone's gonna go cookie cutter anyway. But I think that offering the chance to customize your talent spec with a weapon is a really cool idea, and I'm with you on that. It's cool. I hope people change their thing up. They made it sound like you get your artifact weapon right away. They did, didn't they? Drusage. Yeah. Drusage. That's my impression as well. I still think it's really cool, and I don't mean to be being like a downer about some of these things, but like I'm really excited. I'm pumped. Everything looked amazing. I'm just sort of this is the time to provide feedback because the game isn't out yet. This is like we haven't even gone to beta yet. So if there are concerns, I think we should. It's like sort of our duty as players, if we want the game to be the best it can be, to sort of talk about those things. But just do them constructively. Don't be like, oh, Garrison's 2.0, game sucks, WoW's dead. Like, that's not helpful. Like, speaking of which, the idea that your Garrison followers find quests for you to go do, I think that's cool. I think that's really good. That's smart.
Yeah.
Like, that's where Blizzard, like, does something, and they learn from it, and then they make it better the next time around. And, like, people are like, oh, Blizzard doesn't care about their game. Like, you could not be more wrong. Like, this is an obvious situation where they're showing that they pay attention, they do care, they're creative enough to come up with good solutions to incorporate and build off of the ideas that they tried initially. Because they're people too. Like, they're trying stuff. They're seeing how it goes, just like, you know, anybody would. And it's good to have constructive feedback to build off of. So
yeah, I was actually just going to mention that the order halls and followers is going to be really cool. Like having, like you were talking about, having them go out and find like quests that you can go out and I think that's kind of like what people had in it being like. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody just mentioned World PvP. It's like, yeah, I imagine that like Alliance and Horde class like halls might give each other quests in the same area. So you're gonna have like warriors battling in like the same quest area. It'd be kind of cool. But I need to read a donation real quick. Devasiano says, with the artifacts being spec based, does this mean no spec changes anymore? And in the new honor system, does this mean no honor currency? And Hail Shami is getting less back. So I don't know the answer to those questions for sure. The artifacts being spec based, it doesn't make me feel like your class is gonna have. I mean, it could be the case that like all warriors have the same warrior talent tree, but like maybe you're gonna have a class talent tree that's not different spec to spec, and then your weapon is what's gonna make your spec have different unique talents. That could be the case. That wouldn't even be a bad idea, I don't think. Rather than having the talent tree swap depending on which spec you are. Obviously, when you're having a spec that has like resto talents versus tank talents, you wouldn't want to necessarily just have a resto talent and a tank talent, but maybe you would. I'm sure there would be like resto shamans who would love to have like shamanistic rage as like a talent you can select. So like if you are playing against the team that you expect to train you, you can go shamanistic rage instead of like, you know, a healing stream totem that has like, you know, heals more targets, something like that. Like whatever sort of talents you can imagine. Like rather than like increased healing output on your friends, you have greater damage resistance on yourself. Then that could be a cool talent that every shaman could have. But I also wouldn't think it would be against, you know, out of the question for you to have different talent specs or different talent trees for each spec, and then you have a weapon spec on top of that. You know, who knows? That's what I mean. Like, it opens up a lot of really cool possibilities, which is why I'm so excited about this. And then what you said is the new honor gear system. Does this mean no honor currency? So we don't know. That's one of the things that we've been asking about. It's like, I'm sort of hypothesizing that they're going to give you all the gear that you're going to need for rated PvP content, but then it's like, how do you get gear for non-rated PvP content? You just use what you got, like your quest gear, and then maybe you have to raid to get better gear? Like, is there going to be no gear obtainable through PvP, through like a currency system? I don't know any of those things, but that's a good questions to ask. So those questions, both the questions you ask, I think are great questions, and I'm very curious to see the answer to that. Do I know the artifact was added on Wowhead for some time now? I didn't know that. No, I didn't know that. We will only have one weapon all Legion. That's obviously the concern that arises with the artifact weapons. As cool as they are, the concern exists. So are we only going to use one weapon the entire time?
I feel like I was saying, I think like as we build it, I don't think this is something that we can like rush to like have the most powerful weapon by the first act. Like, I think that this weapon is going to be with us for quite a while. And so, like, let's say you're raiding and you're doing mythic raiding. Maybe the mythic weapons are a little bit better than the first patch of your artifact.
Like if you only have like one talent on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, if you get your weapon like right off the bat and you can grind it like that whole time, that's gonna be a really tough decision. Saying, well, do I want this weapon that is basically, even if it's like a mythic warforged weapon, it's basically just a stat stick, right? Compared to your artifact weapon with like talent augmentations on it, like that's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
And it seems like most people would just end up sticking with the artifact weapon. It's an interesting idea. Like you can still improve your other gear beyond your weapon, but weapon is like such an important part of your experience. Like when you get a new weapon, that's like a huge deal. But if you never get a new weapon, it's like, oh, interesting. But you will be able to get like different cosmetic options as you go along, I imagine. And obviously, you know, grinding the talents on your weapon is going to be an exciting thing for people to do. So we'll see. We'll see. What are you talking about last? I'm waiting for who to ask the question. I think the weird thing about WoW is saying I'm item level... Oh, that you're level 110? Oh, yeah, I mean, level cap is just a number at this point. You know, just you're max level or you're not, you know what I'm saying? Do you keep it for the next expansion? That'll be interesting, I wonder. What if your artifact is an augmentation of your weapon, you get enraged and such, so you have both? That'd be interesting. Like, if yeah, like your artifact weapon affects just your player. So you can equip a different weapon, but your artifact weapon talents still remain. That'd be interesting. That would be cool. The crazy thing is, like, the more you do that kind of thing, though, it sort of devalues the artifact weapon. But it's like, rather than like wielding the artifact weapon, it's like the weapon like watches over you or something. You know, like you have to sort of find out how to make that work with the immersion of the game. Like, I'm not using this weapon, but my weapon looks like it, and I still benefit from all the talent choices I made surrounding that weapon, but I'm not actually equipping it in battle. It'd be kind of strange.
You just keep it in your bag with you, you know, just on the side.
I don't think anybody's like complaining about the weapon. I think we're just sort of talking out different options, and that's it's a really important thing to do because it's a super sick idea. But there's definitely concerns that arise as a result of it, and it's almost our obligation as players to sort of think those out. I don't think anybody's really bitching about it, though. You know what I'm saying? We're just talking about it.
I feel like we will definitely understand and learn more on Sunday as all this new stuff goes along. But it's really fun to talk about now and weigh like the pros and cons.
Yeah, maybe like a new item slot for the weapons. Yeah, like I know what you mean. Like you have like you open up your inventory, you have like the weapons that you've equipped, and then you have like your relic weapon right here. But like then like it's not even like you really need to equip the relic weapon because like you're gonna have it anyway. Like you obviously would be wanting to use it. So it's kind of interesting. We'll have to see what it means though. I mean, like I said, I definitely feel like I'm voicing some concerns, but I'm excited. I'm definitely jazzed up about this, and I want to be part of the process to help improve the ideas. You know, I'm obviously I'm not like an expert, and I would always defer to whatever the WoW devs think they should do, but I think they want to know what the players want too. Mm-hmm. So if we have thoughts or concerns, I think they want to hear them. They just don't want to hear them in like an aggressive or like, you know, rude way. They just want to have constructive feedback.
Every fucking game.
From what I saw, Demon Hunters seem very agile mobile. Do you think they'll be more agile or mobile than monks? Also, as a lock, I'm jumping with joy all over this fell. That's good, man. The Demon Hunters, they have like their little jump back every 24 seconds that avoids damage, and they have little dashes as well. So I think like they do seem very mobile. They also have that stun. That's an AoE stun. It's every 5 seconds.
Every fucking
I mean, sorry, it's 5-second stun every minute. So it's kind of a long cooldown, but it's an AoE stun. Pretty powerful. So am I crazy, or did I not get a flex when I subbed? I don't want to sound like a poor sport by all means, because I love your stream, but did I miss you with a flex? If I did, I'm very sorry, and I will certainly rectify the situation right now. But he says, if I missed, here's 5 for another flex. Keep it up, brother. Oh, you'd have to do that, but hey, man, if I did miss your flex, hit him with the flex. I appreciate that, man. Thank you for subscribing. And thank you for the donation as well. I appreciate that, man.
Totally muted. So no echo, I'm sorry.
That's okay, that's okay. The one thing I wonder is lore-wise how we got the Ashbringer. So I think you're gonna go and look for it in the battle when it was lost. Like you get to, like everybody who gets these weapons is gonna go relive how those weapons were lost in the first place.
Yeah,
which is
like
awesome.
There's gonna be like a starter quest line that takes you to Big Stone. So for example, when they were talking about was it Shadowmourne that was shattered and Frost Death Knights have to go and basically piece it back together and kind of forge like 2 weapons out of it, and then like with monks, you go back to Pandaria and find your staff and that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
there's going to be a lot of lore style things for each class, and each class you can pick. to
Yeah.
go.
Hey, Smash, wow. Hit him with the flex for 13 months in a row, man. Thank you for that, dude. Appreciate that a lot, man. But Ashbringer and Doomhammer wasn't lost. Well, whatever the lore is behind it, that's what you'll go experience yourself, is what I'm trying to say. Which is pretty sick. I'm not 100% sure what the Arms Warrior artifact weapon will be. We'll see. I'm sure it'll be cool, though. Do you think that WoW will turn into an accident MMO since Demon Hunters have double jump different sight? No, I don't. I think that Demon Hunters will uniquely have a double jump, which would be amazing. Like, that'd be really, really cool. But, I don't know. I don't think double jump is, like...
You think they can double jump uphill?
Going too
LOL.
crazy. They probably can, those little rascals.
Warrior joke.
I'm like, double jump, that's cute. It's like rogue leap on top of something.
Oh.
As a lore person, I can tell you, a lot of lore figures are about to die. Oh, baby.
Oh my god.
Arms Warrior,
That's gonna be
Golhau,
great.
or Ashkandi, well, those are both obtainable weapons within the game. I don't think they're going to make them relic weapons. Those are just epics. You know what I'm saying?
I'm really excited for Sylvanas Shadow Song to be in this expansion. I really wanted like a Tyrande Sylvanas type of storyline to appear, but I am so happy I still have them.
I was just looking at you just to make sure your mic was close enough to your face. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, am I really quiet?
Well, like-
I just don't want it to echo.
I know,
so
I
I'm
know.
like,
You made it so that they had like a really low pickup volume, which is fine. I just want to make sure. Hey, Trin XO. Hit him with the flex for 2 months in a row. I appreciate that, dude. Thank you very much, man. If you get an artifact weapon for arms, for example, and you decide to go to Fury, can you never get an artifact for Fury? I bet it'll just change automatically. I think your artifact weapon is going to be more about your spec than anything. Like, it's kind of an extension of your spec. We'll see.
yeah, Jaina is totally a Dreadlord. Jesse Cox has said that all along.
He's maintained that.
She's mad and something is going on, and Jaina is just a straight up Dreadlord.
Damn, dude, what a beast for insane. Keep it up, man. Double jumping melee attacks, lol, yeah. Double jumping, I think double jumping is going to be more cool than OP, you know what I'm saying? It's just more cool than anything. Like doing flips as a night elf. Although doing flips as a night elf is actually OP. So we'll see.
Ooh,
You have
yeah,
to work on
Redfire's
the...
ass.
Interesting. You have to work on the other specializations to get the other weapons. Very interesting. Interesting. It'd be sick if they could double jump so high they can get on the bridge and Blade's Edge. I think the second jump is going to be more of like a just continuous movement forward rather than like a height increase. I don't think they'll make it OP. We'll see though.
Make it over, Liz.
Because Jenny's going to be re-rolling, man. You heard it here first, dudes.
So excited. It'll be.
What are you going to name your... Actually, don't say it.
No, I've already reserved it. It's Illigen.
Illigen, that's great.
Yeah, and Illigeni. Just depending on the realm that I play on.
That's sick. I'm a bit curious to see what glitches you can be found using double jump. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think as cool as a weapon as Gorehowl is, I think that if the weapon is like obtainable normally, I don't think that it's gonna be like a relic weapon. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but you can get all the other ones that are in the game, I guess. But
I think we're all gonna reroll. I think I'll keep playing a warrior. I imagine I'll have a demon hunter, obviously, but I'm not gonna be rerolling, man. I'm warrior for life, dude. No, I'm not opening imigers on stream. I'm not doing that. I'm not comfortable with that one. You could have always just attached the picture rather than like as an imager. But
where is it?
on my Twitter.
Usually, Twitter should.
I have no interest in demon hunters. I hope it makes survivals in a melee class, though. Yeah, I feel like Logan wouldn't like that. My hunter friend would be very sad.
For what?
I hope somebody's saying that they hope they made survival melee class, and I was like, my hunter friend would be very sad if they did that. A lot of people have been saying they're thinking that Arms Warriors will get Varian's sword. Maybe so.
Oh.
You
Would you
so
go
want
good with
you
a
so want a
sword?
Gore Howl. You can get a Gore Howl from Karazhan, man. I'd be down for his sword.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. You wanted this. You wanted Survival to be melee class forever. That's fair enough, man. They did make a Survival melee class, though. I'm wondering if he was kidding about that hunter weapon thing, but maybe not. Maybe not. We'll see. I know he'll be pretty pissed. I think Logan would be. We'll see. I don't think any of the obtainable weapons in the game are going to be relic weapons. I don't think if you can get it, I don't think it's going to be relic weapon. The exception would be Ashbringer, I guess. But you can't get it anymore, I guess. Are the PvP talents class specific? I don't. Oh, actually, no. I think that they probably will be. Yeah, class specific. Yeah, probably. To some extent. Yeah, I imagine so. So when you were looking at the talents, like today, stuff like at 80%, if it targets 80% health or higher, I have like an extra 30% chance to crit, something like that. Like that's a hunter talent. I'm nearly certain. I don't think anybody can use that. Like I don't think a warrior is going to be able to use necrotic strike. You know what I'm saying? So I would imagine they would be class specific, but I imagine some of them also won't be, like the PvP trinket, for example, or like a you know, it puts like a mortal strike effect on one of your main abilities. Like I don't think those will be class specific, but maybe they will. I don't know. I can definitely envision some things not being class specific, but I can certainly envision some things being class specific. Yeah. Aw, Clarks, that's so cute. He's gonna adopt a kitty when he gets his new place.
Yay!
So he can hang out with this bulldog.
Please. They're adorable.
That'd be great. Frosty K isn't Frostmourne. They're gonna be crafting weapons out of the shards of Frostmourne, so it's not the exact same thing.
No, it's Shadowmourne, right?
No, I don't think so. I think it was Frostmourne, like the Lich King's weapon. Would I prestige? So it depends on what it means.
Y'all ready for this?
Depends on if it would affect my rated PvP or not. You guys should make a Demon Hunters together. We'll have Illigen and Bajheera.
Bajheera.
I'm sure that name's gone now, unfortunately. RP. I actually said that. I actually said that today on Twitter. I said if you listen closely, you can hear the sound of millions of players furiously saving variations of the name Illidan.
Yep.
It
was true.
I felt super clever.
I was right there.
If the human racial is taken away, am I going to change race and or faction? Sorry for interrupting you, Jenny. I feel like I interrupt you every time you're saying something.
You're okay.
Probably not. I like my human warrior. I think it's a good look for him.
I think, to be honest, I think I will possibly have more horde characters.
Okay.
If the racials are all taken away and it's more.
Yeah.
I like horde. I started horde. I love the horde storyline.
If more people play horde, I'd like the main reason I have two alliance warriors is because nobody plays horde. But I like the horde, but I do feel a little bit closer to alliance, just personally. But in terms of changing from human to something else, I don't think I would necessarily change my main to human. I mean, or away from human. But I might feel more comfortable making my alts non-human classes. Although a lot of the alts that I have, like Bajheera, I think is great as a human. I think Bajqueequee is great as a human, but I wouldn't feel guilty for not having Bajthor be a human. I wouldn't feel like I was gimping his chances of being successful for not being a human. I think Bajcletus is great as a human. I think Bajclado needs to be a Worgen. You know what?
Bajqueequee totally needs to be a Draenei. Female Draenei.
Female Draenei rogue.
Yeah. Do it.
Maybe we would if we could.
She would be sassy.
She would be sassy, though. So, Klepsic, you keep spamming. Is there will be PvP gear or Blizzards won't use it anymore? I'm not sure. That's one of the big questions that I have, is how they're going to manage PvP gear.
Will it be like tournament-style gear?
Yeah, in a rated and non-rated situation. So I think there needs to be a difference.
Vicky sent me that imager. It is actually just like, it's a lot of the weapons that we got from the press kit.
Okay, cool.
It shows like the bow, shows the mage staff. It's
cool,
I think a lot of this you can find on the Legion site.
Cool.
But yeah, it's definitely Hunter and
What do they do with dueling? I don't know. I'm not sure. That's what I mean. Like, I don't know. I don't know I don't know what avenues you're going to be able to acquire PvP gear outside of a rated situation. I very much feel like rated PvP is going to have a set of gear that you equip for rated PvP, and it just scales up and is the best that you're ever going to get for rated. Outside of rated PvP, I don't know how they're going to handle the gearing process. I'm curious about it, though, obviously. X-Hales, it can't be Gorehowl, dude. You can just walk into Karazhan and get Gorehowl right now. There's no way that they'd make Gorehowl the artifact weapon. I just don't think so. I mean, maybe they would, but I doubt it, because you could just get Gorehowl normally from Karazhan. Like, I don't think they're going to make weapons that are actually obtainable in the game, relic weapons.
Yeah, Wolfie also has a good point. Like, how would we get variant swords? Like, maybe we would get a replica of it.
Would he give it to us? Would he have
like,
to? Would every character have to die? Like,
and then like if you're Horde, you split from him. Like, how would that happen? So I don't know. That one's interesting too.
they should do so in arena. You always have the talents, etc. Because if you want to practice, you can't do arena without your talents. So that's the concern for me, is that like rated PvP, there's gonna have to be a big difference between rated PvP and unrated PvP. Because if you take the prestige system into account, we were talking about this earlier, like at great length, but if you take the prestige system into account, like if you get all your prestige stuff, all your PvP talents, grind at the 2800 rating, and then want to start doing prestiges, you're pretty much not you are not gonna want to do 2800 arena with no talents. Like that is not something that you're gonna want to do.
Somebody in the chat earlier mentioned, what if it actually like adjusted CR to that?
What?
So, like what if it adjusted your CR? As like if I always want to call it ascending. Like so if you did your prestige, like instead of being 2800, you were playing at like a lower CR type of thing.
Well, why would you want to just immediately tank yourself no matter like you're rather than like risking tanking, you're guaranteed.
Or like an MMR, I guess, like your like it would bring you down to like, so you're playing at a 2800 level, your CR is 2800, but then you do a prestige and then you are playing at back to 1500.
But then
you're still, your personal rating's still there.
Yeah, but then that means that if you lose at 1400, you're gonna lose the maximum points that you can lose, and if you win, you don't get any points until you get to 2800 MMR again. So it wouldn't make sense. What makes sense is they give you literally every talent, they give you every piece of gear for rated PvP, and then they say it's all based on skill and then comp. That's that's what I think has to happen, because if
I just saw that in the chat.
Yeah,
so I was
yeah,
just
yeah.
bringing that up to adjust it for.
Yeah,
somebody
for
had
sure,
a question
for sure. But yeah, if you just dropped your MMR and your CR was still 2800 and you still wanted to play, you have nothing to gain. That's what happens. Yo, ice cold 40 ounce. Head over to Flex. Sounds welcome aboard, man. Thank you very much, dude. You think the prestige is for scrims? I agree. I think prestige is for honor-related content, and I think that for rated content, you're going to have all the best gear, every talent available. You're going to have your class talents, your honor talents, and your artifact weapon talents already available to you. So then you just pick your spec and put on all the gear that they're going to give to you, and then you're just going to go and do rated content. There's going to be no real room for progression outside of your rating and your player skill, which is, you know, it might bring more people into the game, but at the same time, if people don't have anything to work for in terms of their gear, they might not feel motivated. Especially because the players who are unmotivated to grind gear are probably also unmotivated to, you know, put in the time and effort to get better at the video game, is what I think. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm like being like, oh, elitist PvPer over here, but I don't know. I don't think that giving people the best gear is really the answer to making people do more PvP, but maybe it is. Maybe it is. And I guess we'll see. Yeah, don't prestige. Well, that's the thing, is that like high-rated PvPers are probably going to want to get the coolest PvP-related perks, right? Even if it is just cosmetic. But what they're not going to want to do is sacrifice their ability to do rated PvP for prestige. I don't think. You know, some people might really love getting high rating and then sitting it for the rest of the season and just farming honor after that. Like, they might be down with that. But I think a lot of players, like myself, I like to do arena pretty much every day, but I also like to do my fair share of battlegrounds. And if I have to choose between which one I want to do, whether I want to gain rating or whether I want to gain like PvP cosmetic rewards, like that's kind of a rough place to put yourself in, right? You want to encourage people interested in PvP to play just about every different form of PvP there is available. And if you have to choose, it's kind of like it's a bad system, I think.
I just feel like there's probably a lot more. There's some kind of explanation.
Oh yeah, definitely. We're working
where,
with limited
like,
information.
Prestige is not going to affect your rating, or like when you do Prestige, like you're still gonna have those talents. You're still gonna have those
for rated PvP. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Which is why, and the reason I'm listing the situation that wouldn't make sense is because it's sort of backing up what you had just said.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense for it to be this way. That's why I think it has to be this way, even though we don't have the information. Do I have any discount codes? Do I have something from Origin? Yeah, it's promo code BAJ. Oh yeah. And if you're buying a computer, if you're buying from the Origin store, you can use the BAJ promo code. If you're buying a computer, just tell them I sent you. That's how that works. Who is even good in PvP right now? I have a rogue, druid, and a mage. So those are like the 3 best classes for PvP right now.
You could basically play all
whatever
three.
You could play all 3 of them at the same time and probably be pretty good. There's no reason in calling it prestige if it doesn't reset everything, so I will do that. So if you don't want to drop rating, you don't do it. I think it's going to be the opposite. I think that you have the option of honor PvP and conquest PvP. So you have your prestige system with honor is unrelated to your arena, your rated arena. I think rated arena is you're going to have all the talents that you have to work for in unrated arena. Or unrated, like, you know, battlegrounds and stuff. I think they're going to be separate, because it wouldn't make sense for them to be tied together that way. Because it would sort of disallow you from doing, like, one of the... Well, it would... If you decided prestige, it'll sort of disallow you from doing arena for a while, until you grind your prestige back up. So, I don't know. We'll see. Did I see what you said, Clerk? So, let me scroll up. Clerk says, I would. Rating doesn't matter until the end. I think it would be easy enough to keep, like, a 2500 CR even without talents, because most people in that bracket will be doing the same thing as you. I think you'll still win more than you'd lose. If you deserve to be at a rating, you will be there with or without talents, even when the others have them. So, if you feel that way, that's going to mean that the talents don't really matter that much. And if the talents don't really matter that much, then, like, why are they there?
If they cosmetic act.
But talents, like, changing the way you play the game?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like...
The PvP
yeah.
side of it,
If somebody with a full set of honor talents is just as good as somebody without any honor talents, like, what's the point of having them? Like, if they don't actually affect your character in a meaningful way, why would you do them, you know? So I think it can't be that way. I think the honor talents have to matter enough for you to make a decision on it, or else they just wouldn't matter. I mean, like, why would you have a situation where, hey, you have 50 talents to unlock and none of them matter? Like, I don't think that wouldn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? You have a feeling they're going to give you free PvP gear for rated PvP? I agree with you, yeah. For rated PvP, yeah. You're looking at this assuming that no one is good at the game. I'm definitely not. I'm looking at this saying, given 2 players who are both really good at the game, the person with access to way more talents is probably going to have an advantage over the one who's not good. I mean, or the one who doesn't have talents, even if they're both really good. Like, if you put 2 players who are, like, the same skill level, and one of them has, like, a full set of epic gear, and one of them has a full set of blues, it's probably not going to go that well for the guy who's under geared. Now, the guy might still, you know, win some of the arena matches, but over a long period of time, it's probably going to go in the favor of the person who has better gear. So, because gear matters at this point in the game that we're playing right now. And if gear didn't matter at all, then, like, what's the point of having the gear, right? So the thing with the talents is, if the talents don't matter, why would you put them in the game? Like, why would you even have them? Or if they matter, but they just don't matter enough to sort of be a determining factor, then that also means that they're not powerful enough to matter, in my opinion. Maybe.
Yeah. They didn't really mention gear at all, though. So I feel like maybe it's going to be a whole different discussion to have, where how the gear is going to play a role in addition to the prestige, in addition to the PvP talents and that.
Yeah, so Clerks he says, yes, give him 1v1. No, not even 1v1. You're saying talents will outperform someone without talents, but group synergy and experience will play into effect compared to talents IMO. So, sure, but that's going to mean that, like, somebody on your team has to, like, not prestige. It's like, okay, I can prestige this week, but you can't, so that we have to stay around the same rating. Right? I know that you're saying rating doesn't matter for, you know, until later in the season, but, like, nobody wants to, like, have to start over like every week, right? Like you don't want to get to like 2,500 and then just immediately tank down to 2,200 because, or tank to whatever, just because like you decided to investigate another side of the game. So that's why I'm thinking honor and rated, like unrated and rated, will have different sort of like they'll be divided. You'll have all the talents you could want for rated, all the gear and talents you can want for rated, and then unrated will be whatever gear you've got from raiding or questing or whatever, and whatever talents you've got from doing battlegrounds. I think a separation makes a lot more sense than saying you're gonna have to sort of decide if you want to do one or the other. Because I disagree with you that it won't make that much of a difference, because if it does not make that much of a difference to not have talents, then they're not meaningful, is what I'm saying. But we'll see how it goes, because none of this is like really certain yet. We're just sort of, I'm not really super interested in like, oh man, I wonder what the warrior PvP weapon, or I wonder what the warrior artifact weapon is going to be, because we'll find that out anyway. It doesn't really matter that much to me what it is. What does matter to me is how this system is going to work, because I'm going to be hanging out with those things a lot.
Yeah. You know, I'm wondering with the class order halls or whatever, what if it, you know, like I guess some people are speculating that might be like similar to like the garrison thing, you can send out followers,
Yeah.
kind of stuff. But does that mean that like, what if I want to go hang out with you in
My warrior thing?
your order hall? I don't think I can if I'm like a priest or a demon
No
hunter.
priests allowed.
No, it's allowed. Like I won't be able to
You need
see
to know
you
the
because
secret
it'll be
warrior
phased
code.
for each class, right?
Yeah.
That's gonna be cool and interesting at the same time.
They didn't really clarify what we were talking about. I'm sort of listing like potential situations and why I think that one is more likely than the other because of the consequences of the different ones. But yeah, I don't think you're gonna be allowed in my warrior thing, Jenny.
That'll be interesting.
We can hang out in Dalaran together, I guess.
Dalaran's pretty good.
Yeah. I'm with you, Inflexi. And I think that when you're competing against other players who are at a very high level, like, small things do matter. And I think that not having any talents will be a big difference. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, you could, like, really good players can probably beat not as good players with less talents or whatever, but then you're not really competing at where you should be competing for your player's skill. If player's skill is the thing that they want to be sort of the most important thing in PvP. Which is what it seems like they want to do. If there's, because I think that for rated PvP, they're going to give you everything up front. But we'll see. We shall see. Honestly, Baj, you hyped about Legion? Can you tell? Can you tell that I'm hyped? I'm very excited. Yeah.
I'm really excited. I'm actually thinking, okay, so I know like this is like me going back to the whole like being like Dalaran thing, but like, so does Dalaran get moved out of Northrend to the Broken Isle?
I wonder.
Like, I mean, it's a floating city, I understand, but like, so what's gonna happen? Are we gonna have two Dalaran that we go to Northrend, or like, what's gonna happen? Is this like a different, I guess like a different time portal?
Like a different like
we're
phase
still in
of
Draenor?
development, yeah. I don't think we'll be in Draenor anymore.
I'm pretty sure. Are we still in Draenor?
I
with
doubt
this?
it.
And then we go to the Broken Isles while we're in Draenor and so Dalaran.
Oh, I see what you mean. Like, are we in like the Warlords of Draenor timeline?
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like, what's happening there?
Interesting. Very curious. Yeah, we'll probably have two. Yeah, that's what a lot of people are saying. They'll have two.
It is the current time? Okay, so we go back. We go back to, like, Azeroth then.
Interesting. 2K people just discussing a game. Yeah, welcome to the WoW nerds. Welcome to the WoW nerds. We're done with Draenor. Okay, interesting. All right, let's test this situation. Broken Isle is south of Northrend, our timeline. This is on Azeroth, so we're back to the original timeline, maybe?
Okay.
Interesting.
This is the Monster Cat Podcast.
Interesting.
When you go to Northrend, do you go back in time?
I think people are underestimating how long it will actually take to prestige. So I don't think it's a bad thing if it stays that way, but if you actually do have to lose all your talents whenever you do the prestige thing, then like that's gonna suck. But like I guess if you could keep your talents and just grind like a certain amount of honor experience, that's different. I don't know why people like to stand on me. I wish you. I know that you guys want to hang out. Why don't you get in our spectral line? You can like be on the side of our spectral line right now. It's a pretty cool idea. I prefer Resto Shaman, Resto Druid for like a healer. I guess a lot of times I like to play with a Resto Shaman over Resto Druid for a lot of the comps that I play, but it depends on what comp I'm playing. We'll see. Should we get people in raid call and get opinions of chat or something like that? Raid call with chat is a bad idea. This is great. You guys typing your opinions is perfect. You guys typing it out is just great. Less auditory spam.
So what about gear? We don't know yet.
Yeah.
It's going to be really
That's what we've been
interesting.
talking about a lot today.
We've been speculating how that's going to tie in, or
Yeah.
whether or not it's going to tie in at all.
I think Procedure won't be crazy hard to get if you PvP a lot. I mean, like, I'm fine with it. Like, I think the ideal situation is just that they're divided. Now, I do have my own sort of concerns with not having to earn gear for raid content, but whatever. I mean, that's... I'm mostly just, like, sort of speculating, but I think that a lot of the things that we've been talking about, it kind of makes sense, but we'll see. You're in the special line, thank you. Too hyped to roll Demon Hunter. Oh yeah, dude.
I
I'm with you.
know.
We just discussed the expansion today. I mean, I'm sure I'll play the game eventually. I feel like we have just been chilling and talking for a while.
Yeah. There's a lot to go over there.
There is, but we're definitely gonna be making videos for you guys too. So
Yeah.
breaking down some of the ideas and that we need to discuss and sort of getting some initial thoughts from you guys is a good thing. We can condense those into a video, but I'm gonna go grab some water real quick and make a little bit more food. And I think we should probably do a little bit of gameplay today at some point. Maybe get these alts capping, but I know that we'll be talking a lot about the expansion for the weeks to come, though. Very excited. Hope we get in beta at some point soon, but we'll see. Either way, I'll be right back, guys. You guys can hang out with Jenny a little bit. I'm gonna grab some food and get some water. BRB.
Don't mind